Your Honor, counsel, and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I thank you, we all thank you for your patience. We know that this has been sometimes tedious. Only in the United States of America are citizens called to represent the community and to exercise this kind of power. And in a few hours, you will have enormous power in your hands to weigh the most serious of issues. Corporate responsibility, the safety of our most vulnerable people, how we treat our heroes. This is a case about a predator who worked out of the back of an ambulance owned and run by AMR. It is the story of the young woman, Rashika Herring, who stopped him, and of the corporation that didn't. 3 other women tried to sound the alert. They wanted desperately to protect other people, but each one failed. And a question for you is, was it their fault? Or does the fault lie elsewhere? 500 EMTs and paramedics work for American Medical Response Northwest. For as long as anyone can recall, there's been no accusations of sexual misconduct against a single one of them, except one man. He had 3 in 14 months. And they sent him to the home of Rashika Herring to help her when she was sick and scared, having collapsed on the floor in front of her children, bleeding internally. And if those numbers don't establish negligence, then words have lost their meaning. Make no mistake about this. They have as much power over who's in the back of their ambulances with helpless, sometimes semi-conscious, sometimes unconscious people, as you and I have to decide who gets in the back of our car. They had the power to fire him after the Whalen incident. It was sexual misconduct right out of the book, no question. They could have called in that nurse, called in Miss Whalen, sent him off to Nebraska. And that power that they had to fire him, much less remove him from the back of the ambulances, was there at the beginning. It never ended. Would any woman who knew how this guy stood out from the crowd of 500, would any woman have knowingly gotten in the ambulance with this guy? Yeah, I'll take this one, the guy with the 3 sexual misconduct charges recently. They didn't have that choice. AMR made that choice for them. They said, well, Lanny's good enough for you. They made the choice for everybody. You and your mother and your grandmother and your sister and your daughter. They made that call. And they're not apologizing a bit. They're right here, chin up, saying, we didn't do anything wrong. Did the best we can do. Don't expect better. As good as it gets. Who are we dealing with? Could you throw up the first clip? This is from Mr. Burkest's report made sometime after he left the hospital, after talking to Rashika Herring. He wrote, many times during the conversation, she said that, quote, she felt that she should be able to call 911 and know that she would be taken care of and not have to worry about this kind of thing happening. And she is going to take this as far as possible and will do anything to make sure this does not happen to anyone else. Out of what, 100, 200? That's who Rashika Herring is. Where's the press release? Who's on the other side? Press release from AMR. December 19, 2007. Hazard's been in jail for 9 days. Like the public we serve at large, we are appalled by the actions of Lanny Hazard. We will continue to cooperate with law enforcement in their investigation of him. We have hundreds of employees in Oregon that are dedicated healthcare professionals of the highest caliber. We're shocked, dismayed, and enduring hardships due to the actions of this one person. The company cannot comment further due to pending litigation. Sick and sorry, and so they should be. This year, April 10, 2009, we made a formal request for them to admit a fact. That's how cases get narrowed down. We make requests for admission, they make requests for admissions, the facts are narrowed down. We asked a simple question. On December 8, 2007, admit that Lanny Hazard intentionally touched Rashika Herring in an unwanted and sexually offensive manner while Rashika Herring was being transported in an ambulance. Response from AMR, objection. Defendant American Medical Response objects to this request as it calls for speculation as to the state of mind of both Lanny Hazard and Rashika Herring. Got it? In other words, American Medical Response, Inc. is not prepared to say that what Lanny Hazard did to her in our back of our ambulance was unwanted. She had no obligation to go after this guy. She didn't know anybody a thing. She had no obligation to take on this corporation, to bring them to account. She paid a horrific price for it. Still does. They had every duty, legally and morally, to deal with this guy. She had to do it. For you. And yours.